It is that time.
That time.
Podcast time. What's up, Michael?
Not much. Coming off a big weekend of golf in West Jefferson, North Carolina. Shout out to my guys. A couple of them shocked me. They said that they actually listen to the podcast every once in a while. I guess they need something to fall asleep to, so they tune in. But had a good
We are
time.
not.
Didn't play very well. But I tell you, I don't know if you spent much time in West Jefferson, North Carolina in the summertime, but it never got above 80 degrees there this weekend.
Really?
It was perfect and got to have some fellowship with a great group of guys that put up with my bad golf game, and it was great. So, how about you?
Good weekend. Fun stat. We'll start it off with a crazy stat. We had our best Saturday ever this past Saturday down at the shop. So the card
I'm
business is alive and well. But that's kind of a cool here. Almost five years into owning it, probably the biggest Saturday we've ever had. It was
That's
awesome.
awesome. That's awesome. It's glad to hear that Grand Slam is not participating in the recession.
Not yet, not yet. Justin Williamson,
Hey,
thank
Justin.
you, Justin. You're always a part of our local business. Thank you for being a
Yes,
customer.
yes, yes. Let me just start off with the quick rundown, and we do the rundown to sort of remind ourselves of what we're doing, but also for those of you who are tuning in for the first time, we want you to know what is going to happen uh, over the next few minutes. We're going to start off with the opening rip, which is we just pick a topic in the hobby and banter about that a little bit. Then we go into what's hitting the shelves of Grand Slam this week. We have a little segment called Behind the Counter where we talk about something that goes on a little behind the scenes of a card shop at your local LCS. We jump into hobby advice, any listener questions. If you've got any sort of questions for Josh and I that you want an above average answer to, or maybe just an average answer, just drop that into the chat. Then we show off a couple cards. Josh and I do card from the vault. Then we take a look at what's hitting the shelves next week to sort of as a teaser of what's coming to the shop. And then we end with crazy stat of the week. So let's get things going with the opening rip. Josh. The Padres are in the news again, but not for something that they want to be in the news for. El Nino gets pinched for PEDs. What say you about what in our pregame? You're not saying it's a big deal, but I think it's a big deal. But what
Most
what
do.
say you about this?
So there's two camps here. There's two possibilities. Was this, and we're not going to know the truth because they put out a statement and Tatis gives his defense. But if he took, Mackie, shut up, here, Mackie, you're probably older than I am, aren't you? But so he says it was an ingredient in ringworm medicine, but it's still his fault because he should have known what was in the medicine that he's putting into his body. So that could be the cover up fake story to save face, or he's taking some sort of a steroid to enhance his performance. Either way, I don't care. I don't care if these guys shoot anabolic steroids straight into their veins for bigger muscles to play. I don't care. I don't think it's that big a deal. But I think in the minority with that thought. And if it is just ringworm medicine, then definitely this shouldn't affect him in any way. So he was already injured. He's going to be out the rest of this year. He's going to come back next year. Clean reputation, clean bill of health. He's so young. Hopefully he'll just continue to push the Padres with Juan Soto. Oh, I guess Juan Soto might not even be there next year, but whoever's going to be there, it ends up being a thing of the past because he's just entering into his prime. Um, Again, I'm probably in the minority of that because I hear people in the shop, oh, this dude's done, his cards are done. People are selling his stuff. So I think that's an overreaction. Um, I did see if the statement is true, and this would be able to be fact checked, so I would assume this is true, but he's never failed a drug test in the past anyway. And I think at the end of April, he took a drug test that came back clean. So it's not like he's been doing this for years. The dude's like my size, he's a skinny dude. He's taller, of course, but my point is he's not this jacked up steroid user. Um, but Mackey says buy low, sell high, time to buy. So if you're in the camp like I am, he's probably a safe buy right now when everyone's dumping his stuff. But again, I think Barry Bonds is the greatest hitter to ever live, and he'll be forever tainted because of steroids. But this is a different scenario. This isn't right. This isn't like human growth hormone and anabolic steroids where they're, right? This is, tell me.
You'd like to think so. I want to give the kid the benefit of the doubt. Look, you're talking to a almost 50-year-old dude that's
done plenty of steroids.
Oh yeah, clearly. No, that if I could take something now to not feel like I just played 5 rounds of golf in 4 days, I would do it. Because I'm in some pain, right? He's been nicked up. He hasn't played once this year. Even if he is sort of playing ignorant that I didn't know I took it, but, he's coming off an injury. He wants to get back on the field. If he needed a little bit of help, I could understand that. But, I don't know if he's going to come back squeaky clean. I don't know what this means for his legacy. If people don't associate this act with some sort of if they don't connect it with him being somebody of low character, then I think he's fine. But if it comes along, if other things that he does sort of makes him somebody that is people say that he's shady, then I think it will affect it. Now, the short term effect on the hobby, I saw a stat. It said that his actions had $100 million hit on the hobby. That wow. It sucked the value, his card values down across the hobby $100 million, which is, I feel like that's hard to believe, but I agree. Let me catch up on some chats. It's Cobb. Hey yo, is it's Cobb and Jacob the same person?
They are the same person.
All right, there you go. Mackie, buy low, sell high. I agree. Facebook user is Aaron's Judge on steroids. It's who's to say? But for me, I've been burnt in some of the folks that I was investing in or PCing. I was PCing this kid that played for Manchester United. His name was Mason Greenwood. He made a poor decision, got let go from the team, Nike dropped him, FIFA 2021 dropped him. I mean, it wasn't 24 hours and he wasn't even on the video game anymore. So I don't see, Tatis is the cover boy for MLB The Show. And, I don't know if they're going to pull him off of the game. So we'll see. But I do agree with you. I think that it's early enough in his career that he may be able to overcome this, especially if he turns out to be a really good guy. If he's giving back to the community, if he gives back to the game, things like that to sort of repair his reputation. Because other than what would be called cheating, which is a low character trait, he's been great for the baseball, for the hobby, and for baseball. So
you got to think he's probably going to mount mount the offensive for goodwill and charity work, probably, if he's smart. I
I,
think he would be
I
smart
hope
enough.
so. So what you're saying is that what makes this different than the steroid use in the mid 90s is those guys were sort of at the prime of their careers in going into the sunset of their careers, and then so that was the lasting
Yeah,
impression that we had of them, and that it's so early for Tatis
yeah,
that won't be the case. Is that what you're saying?
yeah. It's kind of like he puts two really nice seasons together starting next year. Hits 30 something home runs and has 100 RBIs and doesn't get hurt and, keeps his nose clean. And he's just like a strong everyday player. A couple seasons, we're not going to remember this little ringworm medication incident. Now, if the dude was, had faded into oblivion a little bit and all of a sudden he's hitting 46 home runs, they test him, he's on steroids, completely different. But
Right.
he was at home nursing an injury with ringworm. I mean, I just think it's a totally different feel. If he just lays low, does some goodwill things to help affect his reputation, I think we'll all quickly forget, just like we forget how Ohtani just a year ago was injury prone,
Right.
and now they're crowning him potentially the greatest player to ever end up playing by the time he's done playing. So we'll see. I mean, again, like, he just doesn't look like a big steroid guy.
Well, neither did Rafael Palmeiro.
But Palmeiro was a bit heftier than
He
Tatis
was
and was hitting 50 home runs. So that's a little different.
I
Soto
get it.
can't even hit 30. No.
I I get it. It's and if when you talk to certain folks about steroid use, a lot of it is for longevity and recovery. It's not that it makes you do things any better; it just allows you to recover faster. And
From
so
ringworm. From ringworm.
from ringworm, obviously, but I looked up some of his pricing, and it is down, and there's some juicy deals out there. Now, let me
Yeah.
ask you this: as a card shop owner, did you go in and adjust prices, or are you just going to keep them the same?
We didn't have so Tatis is one of those like Ohtani. We get something, put it in the case, it just doesn't last very long. So
Okay.
we don't have a shop full of Tatis stuff that we feel like we're stuck with now. So I have a couple things that I tucked away that I picked up long ago
Mm-hmm.
that I'll just keep tucked away because I think in a couple years those were longer term holds anyway,
Right.
and so I'll just keep doing that. I wouldn't be afraid. I would like to buy some Tatis stuff if it comes into the shop and it's
Mm-hmm.
a little better deal than it normally is. I'm not afraid to buy that. Like I said, like Jacob says there, instead of a legend going out with a sour taste in his mouth, this could be looked at as kind of just a little hiccup at the beginning of the career. So
it'd be interesting to see the take. I haven't had a talk with my boys. They were at trade night, the last trade night, and they were looking for Tatis. It'd be interesting to see the perspective of a young kid that maybe had been looking up to Tatis, a young baseball player. My boys are just baseball nuts, and they eat, live, and breathe baseball. And I wonder if they're sometimes kids can be very forgiving, and then sometimes kids can hold a grudge when it comes to this kind of thing. And it'll be interesting to see.
I think they're going to mirror what they hear the adults in the hobby talk about. Oh, stay away from Tatis stuff now. Stay away from Tatis. Right. And they want to feel like the guys that have it figured out too.
Right.
They'll probably tout that. I'm not going to buy Tatis stuff because, now's the time to sell, and
right.
I would imagine just being inexperienced and being kids, that's kind of what they'll,
that'll be interesting. I'm certainly he's on my radar because I think at his size, the one thing about Tatis, even before the steroid use, was that he was injury prone and that he was making questionable decisions off the field. But his talent is undeniable. And so it'll be, it'll be interesting to see sort of my own purchases with regards to Tatis. There's a big show coming up in Spartanburg the same day as trade night, and I'm going to that show. So it'll be interesting to see what sort of Tatis inventory and opportunities are there. So,
Yep.
any other thoughts on that? Like, who would you say? And I didn't prep you for this, but who is a good comp for Tatis from the steroid era? I don't remember any really tall, lanky shortstops back in the day. They were all little dudes, right? They were all little shifty dudes
Yeah.
playing shortstop. I think the biggest shortstop, and I put his picture in the thumbnail for this. The tallest, biggest shortstop back in the day was Alex Rodriguez.
Yeah. I was going to say A-Rod. So
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see how he does. All right. Enough about El Nino. Guys, drop your thoughts in the comments. What you guys think is Tatis done, or is he just getting started and he's going to have an opportunity to recover? Let us know what you think. Josh, what's coming to the shop this week with regards to new product?
So the one we've been talking about that comes out Wednesday, day after tomorrow, is Obsidian Basketball.
What do you think of that product? I like that. There's like a white parallel. I think it's called a contra parallel. It's like a white, like I don't even know if
the
it's
cards are typically always black.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like an albino obsidian card.
Yeah. Obsidian's beautiful. I like the fact these will be like under $400 a box.
Ooh. Okay.
I think it's 350, 380, something like that from a little bit that I've looked at. So I like that the price is, kind of back down to earth a little bit. There is a high ceiling potential. There's veteran stuff in there. It's a good product. We'll sell it very well. That comes out Wednesday.
And that's hobby only, correct? You're not going to find this.
Hobby.
You're not going to find this on retail shelves or back on your shop on the shop shelves later in retail format. This is hobby only, right?
Correct. Yeah, these are hobby boxes. I think there's 7 or 8 cards, and 4 or 5 of them are hits. So,
okay.
Yep, that'll be a fun one. Starting tomorrow, I think I have a shipment of Donruss Optic Football retail.
Boom.
Yeah. So hobby's been out for a little bit, 2 weeks now, I think, at least. And you're starting to see the retail stuff hit. So we'll have blasters for people that are interested in opening Optic and didn't get to take a crack at, a hobby box at $800 a box or whatever they were. So we'll be doing some breaks on the page of Donruss Optic. So if you want to get in at like $29 to play in some Optic football, we'll probably post the first one tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. And then what did we say? Friday, Leaf Lumber. Is that right? Yeah. Leaf Lumber. So Leaf products, they are really nice products. This is a baseball product. Every card has some form of lumber in the card, bat barrels and bat shavings and bat pieces, and they're always numbered. There's always big names. It's a really, really cool product.
Yeah, apparently the guy from Leaf, his name's Brian Grays, the CEO of Leaf. He was quoted in saying that he at the National he bought over $1 million worth of memorabilia in order to make these nasty, nasty patches that you see in his products. So they're impressive. So don't sleep on that lumber product. Now that's gonna be rookie. Is that rookie heavy? Is it veteran heavy?
It's veteran heavy. You'll see a lot of Don Mattingly bat pieces. You'll see stuff like that. They do a lot of combo pieces where you'll have 4 Hall of Fame shortstops and little bat pieces from each one. So
that's cool.
Yeah, it's a really cool product. That's probably it for this week. We'll talk about what's coming down the pipeline a little bit in that segment coming up. But
Nice. Well, one thing that is coming up, and we've already alluded to it, is Trade Night 10.
10.
And so we are proposing, and I wanted to throw this out there during the podcast. Josh, have you ever done like a trade up challenge, like at a show?
I have not. I've watched a little YouTube, and not even necessarily with the they used to have that show. Wasn't it a Craigslist kind of reality thing where you would buy an item and trade up, and you'd try to go from like a paper clip up to a boat or something like that? I feel like there's a reality show. If anyone knows what I'm talking about, say it in the comments. But people have done that in all sorts of aspects of life before. But it's a cool idea. Are we gonna do it for sure? Do you want to announce the rules and the?
I think we're kicking it around. I think we want to have something for our younger trade night goers. So I think we're going to cap the age at about 13 to participate in this trade up challenge. So just be on the lookout. We'll make announcements on the socials about that. But one thing I did want to ask you about, since this is sort of our behind the counter, what's sort of the biggest trade you've ever made in the shop? Like somebody walked in and wasn't really interested in selling you anything, but saw something in the showcase or asked you if you had anything and said, "Hey, are you willing to trade?" I know that goes down at shows all the time. I watch it. I've participated in it. But at the shop, do you get a lot of trade bait in the shop?
I suppose no. As a shop, I think people treat us more as, I want to turn this into some cash. And so I would say the biggest trade that we've done, and I usually treat it like, here's what I would like to buy that collection or this batch of cards from you for. And they ask about trade. And I said, how about I'm interested in buying it from you. And then whatever you want to do with that money is up to you. I have traded probably wax is probably the biggest wax for some singles. I don't typically like to do that. And the only time I do it is if the singles are as easy to sell as the wax is, because the wax is really easy to sell. And so I often kind of equate it to, I don't like to trade singles for wax because the singles sometimes take the right customer looking for that right player. But if it's, and I'm not saying this because I PC him, but Brady, for instance, or if it was early rookie Mahomes stuff or rookie Luka stuff, I'll trade about anything for that because I can put it in the case and it'll sell probably by the next day. And nice Acuna stuff at his height. See here, Mackey's saying a guy traded up, started with a paperclip and ended up with a house. So you're just trading over time and trading up into different.
Well, I can't wait. I can't wait to see because I tell you, some of these kids at trade night, they are they're ruthless.
We should put a little disclaimer out there that the adults that are going to be sucked into this don't need to be donating charity to them. Here, I'm going to donate this, $200.
Be tough on them. Be tough on them.
Be fair. Make it a fair trade and make them work for it. But
let me catch up on the comments a little bit. Jacob from our last segment was saying that I guess I'm a little more lenient, not on the steroid thing, since I'm used to the whole steroids trials and stuff around the WWF. Yeah, so it's some sports entertainment. It's sort of part of the culture. Alejandro, what's up? George, sad that you're not going to be there.
Yeah,
the soccer tournament.
Darn it.
And Jacob, he's calling you out.
Here's the thing though. My card from the vault, I've got 3. They're 3 pickups that I got on Saturday. And Jacob, one of those is a wrestling single from you. So be careful about that. But wrestling singles are harder for us to move in the shop. So I'm careful there. I'll buy something for PC, but I'll often not trade.
Well,
I, lo-
I'm
I
looking
love this
forward
stuff.
to it. I'm looking forward to seeing what that, and I feel like I need to get better at trading. I don't know if I'm comfortable with it, and I don't know if it's just because my goal usually when I'm letting go of cards is to get cash to buy in a PC or buy up into another card. But I think I need to change my mindset on that because I've seen some really, really cool trades happen where both parties sort of walk away and they're feeling like they won.
Yeah.
Sometimes in cash deals, there's always going to be a feeling of a winner and a loser. And I think most of the time in a trade deal, the ones that I've seen, both parties feel like they got something out of it. So I gotta, I think I'm gonna,
I like seeing the social media posts after trade night, guys posting stuff they picked
yeah,
up at trade night, which is cool because they traded for it and they're proud of what they got, and so obviously they gave up some good stuff to get that. And so George sees this stack of slabs behind me. We're gonna do a quick little show of my SGC return batch, and we're gonna talk grading a little bit.
yep,
I'm not
yep.
going to spend a ton of time on those, but I want to show off my last batch that just came back.
And Jason Palmetto Gators Smith. That's an interesting middle name, Palmetto Gators. You like trading singles for wax? Yeah, I mean, why
I
not,
would say
right?
most people do, but finding a shop that likes doing that, the right wax too, because people often want to trade singles that aren't moving as fast or less desirable for wax that is like super desirable. So I'm all down for fair trade for cards for wax. You know, cards that will sell well for wax. That's
It's
decent.
like I said, for me, it's a mindset thing, and I got to get better at it. Admittedly. All right.
And I don't
Um,
know, like too, like if I get a case of, optic football, I've got customers coming in that come directly to Grand Slam that day just for that product. And so if I've done traded it all away for singles in my showcase, they're going to say, okay, thank you. Have a good day.
right.
I'll go find it somewhere else. So that's why
Right.
I'm careful. I want to keep as much wax on the shelf as possible. But
Yeah.
um, typically, whenever I also feel bad because I'll walk away with a Brady Kaboom, and they walk away with two boxes they open up and they don't get anything good out of it.
Right.
And so you feel like a casino where the house just took the money. I want everyone to have a good experience when they come in. But
Jason said he just traded a purple star first off the line Trevor Lawrence auto for an optic hobby box and black
Panini
Panini
Black.
black football and 300 cash. I feel like
So
it was a good trade.
here's the thing, Jason. If you open that optic hobby and your autograph is
ETN.
no, you I'm saying like Kellen Mond or
Okay.
something, and the black your autograph is, yeah, people do like to gamble, but you may open those two boxes and end up with two guys whose cards are $20 next year. And T-Law might have a big year this year, and that card's huge. So it is definitely a gamble. I hope it pays off for you.
Me too. Me
It's
too.
fun.
Speaking of wax, Josh, did you hear about what went down with some of the sealed wax at the National?
I hadn't until you filled me in a little bit of it, and I love hearing this because it's crazy drama, but I don't like hearing someone getting hosed and a
Oh
thief
man.
getting away with it. But fill them in, and then I'll give you a story from the shop that happened less
Yeah,
than.
so there were two instances that I saw footage of. There was this big breaker, and he was opening a sealed box of 2012 Prism basketball. Huge, first year Prism.
Yep, that's Giannis.
Huge, yes, huge rookie class. And he was, I guess he had spent five to buy in. It was $500 a spot, and he was getting ready. He was building it up, anticipating. Took the sealed wrapper off of it, opened it up, and it was Austin Powers cards.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah,
Yeah.
baby. But I mean, and you could see him. He was just he didn't even know what to say. He didn't even know how to act. He did right. He actually instead of refunding, at first he was going to refund everybody, but instead he brought out a box of 2009 Topps Chrome basketball, which that's the Curry rookie year. And so he ended up breaking that for the same price as he did the Prism. So he took a hit, but
That
he
cost
wanted
him a
to.
lot.
Yeah, it did cost him a lot, but he wanted he didn't want to, the way he said it, to end things on a bad note. So that was the first one, and then apparently Whatnot was giving away spots in a break of 1986 Fleer basketball, which is, as everybody knows, is the product that has the Jordan rookie in it.
Yeah.
And the issue with that was that there were packs where cards were in alphabetical order, and the whole thing just smelled funny.
Yeah.
Like
And
there
you
were
said they pulled one Jordan
I
rookie
think
out of
they
the
did
box.
pull one Jordan, but it did not come in the collation, the order that, I mean, a lot of people have broken these boxes online, and it's clear. I think it's like a certain player, and then they're like, get excited because they see that player and they know the Jordan's coming,
Yeah.
and that just did not happen. And it was a weird correlation. The guy from BBCE, who is they authenticated the box. They basically have been backpedaling this whole week, saying, "Oh yeah, that was just a once in a lifetime thing. It was bound to happen. That this was a funky box." I didn't realize that they authenticate these old boxes. He admitted that two of the packs out of the original box had been tampered with. So he put two authenticated packs back in the box to make it 36 packs. And then they authenticated the box. And I'm like, that's an open box.
Yeah.
How can you authenticate an open box? So
And if only one Jordan came out, I
yeah,
told you before, I said that's probably the thief's pity Jordan. Well, we can't take all the Jordans out of this box. Let's put at least one in there, because every one of those boxes usually has 2 to 4 Jordans.
yeah.
And then I don't know if there was any sticker Jordans, because there's always a few of those in a box too.
Yeah,
So
but so my
that
question
whole
is
thing smells.
can you trust older sealed wax these days?
I don't think you can, and I know I'm biased because I want people to buy my newer wax. But we had owned the shop for less than probably 9 months, and a guy brought in a big collection of stuff, and it was tons of singles and some sealed product. And I remember he filled up the table we had at the shop, kept bringing it in so I could look at it all. And he pointed out the big banger singles that were in the lot, and here's kind of the main things you're buying. And one of the boxes was a sealed 03-04 Topps basketball set, which is LeBron's rookie. So at the time, the LeBron base rookie card was like, this is going to make you laugh, because it was like $150 for that card. And we bought the lot, he left, and me and my brother were there at the shop, and then we were going through it. And I remember two of the regular guys that were down there as well. And I said, hey, we need to open this box and pull the LeBron out, because the LeBron itself sells for $150, and the sealed set sells for $150. So we were like, we're not going to lose by opening this up and pulling the LeBron out. And so the box was sealed, factory sealed, with Topps factory sealed wrap on it, with the Topps logo on it. We sliced it open and started combing through the cards, and we're looking like, oh, here's Dwayne Wade's rookie. All right, there's one of them, because it's Wade, Bosch, Carmelo, LeBron. Found every other one, couldn't find LeBron.
Boom.
And so we went back through it like 3 times, and there was no LeBron in that. Every card in the whole set was there except for the LeBron, and it was factory sealed from Topps. So
wow.
Obviously it wasn't. It was resealed, but that made me say that, man, even if it really, really, really looks factory sealed, it still makes me way too nervous, especially now these boxes that like 86 Fleer that cost tens and tens and tens of thousands of dollars for one box. I'd feel really nervous about that.
Yeah, for personally, I purchased a box of Fleer. I think it was 89 Fleer, 89.90 Fleer, which at the time is when that whole it was at the height of the price for that. So I think I spent like $275 on the box, and it was halfway through the box. I'm like, these packs have been opened, and I actually bought that from a dealer at one of the local shows, and
Mhm.
I won't spend another dime with him ever again.
Yeah.
Which is probably not fair because he probably didn't know. He probably purchased the box and flipped it. So I may give him another shot, but it gives me the yibby jibbies. So
Yeah.
let me
And
catch up on.
it's not like you can open it and like, I want to double check that these are sealed and
Yeah,
legit before I buy it. Once you slice it, you can't buy
yeah.
it. But
Let me catch up on some of the comments. Jason's going after the Pandora or the gold vinyl. Kellen Mond is creeping up, says George Stewart. Don't sleep on him. Um, something about Grand Slam joining Whatnot this week. Jacob.
yeah, that's Jacob. Jacob knows we're joining Whatnot. We'll
Yep.
talk more about that later. We're just
Yep.
getting our feet wet.
Yep. Yes, Jason. I saw the guy, and it wasn't just a dude. It was the guy running PSA. I forgot his name. But yeah, he opened up a pack with Jeff from Sports Card Investor, and there was a sealed pack out of. No, maybe I'm thinking about the wrong thing. They opened up opened a box of Topps Finest, 1996 Topps Finest, and there was a sealed pack in there with no cards in it, which was crazy.
Ugh.
So I guess this happened again. And then Mackey loaded for Bear, picked up 4 LeBron rookies last week, ready for Palmetto.
Mackie, you coming to trade night? I remember you saying that you were going to maybe make the jaunt up for trade night. Is that true still? Just
Bring those
curious.
rookies. So, so we talked about older sealed wax. Any other thoughts on that? I know you used to have a few boxes of some cheap old wax.
Occasionally
In the
those come
top.
through the door. Yeah, we picked
Yeah,
those up. We did a what was it, 82 Topps football break a couple
yeah, I
years
remember that.
ago.
You pulled a Montana rookie out of that.
Yeah. Pulled two
Yep.
Montana rookies, sent them off for the customer. I think they both came back eights. So
Yeah.
they did well. They did
Yep.
well on that break.
Josh,
But
did you send me something that I needed to pull up on the screen?
that's for stat of the week. I just remembered that, so I wanted you to throw it up there when we get to that point. So,
All right.
uh,
Any other thoughts on older sealed wax? It is fun. Trust me, guys. I've opened up boxes of 1987 Tops, and it's fun. It's fun opening up that junk wax. But as far as this high end stuff, gosh, just
speaking of opening, a couple of the guys that hang out at the shop a lot were at the National, and there was a big group doing a big break on an 86 Fleer basketball box, and he's telling me the story. I wasn't there for it, but like you said, when they're going through the first pack, they see the players in the pack. That means there's a Jordan rookie, and so they're getting excited. First pack in, Jordan rookie, the place loves it. They're streaming it live online. Everyone's having a good time. They're watching the whole box get broke. So they break it. I think it's 36 packs or something. And so when they're done, my friends noticed that they were just kind of like grabbing up the wrappers and getting ready to kind of just wad them up and throw them away. And he kind of makes his way over there and says, are y'all going to do anything with those wrappers? And they're like, no, I don't think so. And you mind if I grab a few of them? And so I check with the other guy. You care if you get some of the wrapper? No, I don't care. So little did they must not know or did not care. Those wrappers sell for about $50 a piece. And so he was able to get 16 of those wrappers before they threw them away, and then called his friend over. Hey, hey buddy, come here. Come grab you a few wrappers here for souvenirs. And he ended up with like 10 of the 36. So I think 26 of the 36 they ended up with. those sell for like, believe it or not, the empty wrapper of 86 Fleer basketball sell for like $50 a wrapper. So he donated one to me as a good friend. We put in a big top loader and it's on display down at the shop. But
that's cool.
well,
the dark side of the hobby is people buy those wrappers so that they can sell counterfeit packs of 86
We may have just got
Fleer.
some counterfeit cards off
There
the
you
street.
go. Thank you for cleaning up the hobby for us, Josh. So go ahead, and we were talking in the pregame about how you said that you were falling in love with the whole SGC grading process and results, and talk to us about why that is and show off some of those Brady slabs.
So my original intention with this order that I sent off to be graded was I sent 50 cards to SGC, and I sent one card to PSA at the same time. So the obvious question is, why this one? Why did it go to PSA where the rest went to SGC? So a couple reasons. As you can see, throw that Brady one up there. So these are spellbound cards. So at $27, I have there's Brady spelled out in the Buccaneers uniform, and then if you'll show the other one, there's Brady spelled out. I think that's 2018 Elite in the Patriots uniform. So that's 10 cards. If I sent those to PSA, you're looking at $50 a card, 10 cards, $500 just in grading fees, so that I could have those displayed nicely and slabbed and permanently protected. By sending them to SGC, not only do they, I think, present themselves better because they're on these matte black holders, but it cost me hundreds of dollars less, and they're still protected. I personally like the looks of their slabs better. They don't resell for as high as PSA. So when I had this is a kind of a resale card, a Tom Brady stained glass. This is from 2018 Prism. So I expressed this one just because I'm impatient and I don't want to wait 3 or 4 months to get it back. I wanted to see if I got a 10, but I got a 9. But so I sent that one because that is kind of one that I need it to be as valuable as possible for reselling purposes down the road. But the spellbounds that you just showed pictures of saved me a lot of money to have them, and I just think they display better in that, what do you call it, the tuxedo case, the black and the white. So
and just for those of the folks that are watching and listening, you sent those in on was it a trade night submission that you sent those in? Do you remember which trade night?
Yeah, so I sent and got them back in less than 30 days.
There you go.
And that's going through a third-party submitter such as Palmetto Cards, which is obviously going to take longer because it goes through more hands. So I could have done these myself and got them back even faster, but I love the luxury of giving them to Palmetto and they take care of it all. And I just got to wait a little bit longer. But I'm waiting nowhere near 3 or 4 months like I would be sending these to PSA. And my goal with these cards, these are just old fun cards, die cuts and numbered cards that just look pretty, that I just wanted to have them. I think that's his first select base card. That's why I got that one. But these are just cards I wanted to have protected and slabbed completely for appearance reasons, not for jacking up the price to resell down the road. And let's face it, I sent 50 of these cards to SGC. Could you imagine the bill if I had sent them to PSA? So
it's almost double.
The bill was, So
at the time, now PSA does have a $30 submission order, but who knows when you'll get those back.
Yeah, so you could be waiting 6 months plus for those cards. Yeah, it's only $30, but I don't want my cards gone for a half of a year. So I was just going to quickly show this. You can throw up anything on the screen, but those first couple that I showed you, I got 8.5s. Everything else I've got 9s, and this is just, like I said, some older favorites of mine that just look cool. Some older refractors.
Oh, that's cool.
That's like an 07, I think. 07. But numbered stuff like this, extra, read all about. These are just cards that are not valuable enough to send to PSA. but I really wanted them protected. I sent a lot of these select retail die cuts.
Nice.
And so again, they're not super valuable, so it just didn't make sense to spend $50. But I got a handful of 9s, but I was really, really impressed because SGC is also a pretty strict grader. They're not known for just handing out 9.5s and 10s. These are all 9.5s, and like I said, they're die cuts and just older base cards that were tough. Got some older turkey reds.
George was just asking if you had a turkey red. There you go.
So yeah, I have one with the really rare background that I sent to PSA and got a good grade on. So just for kicks to have these slabbed as well, I sent those.
That's cool.
Got 9.5s. But stuff like this, the retail lasers, or I should say the non-numbered lasers, the numbered just gold stuff like this. And so these are, more die cuts. See if I can get a good picture there. Numbered die cuts. This was his jersey number, 12 of 75. If you're new to the hobby, if the serial number card here matches the jersey, it jacks the price up and makes the card more valuable. But I do have one little funny card that I got back as I was going through these. I about had a heart attack. Do you notice anything wrong with this card? That's not Tom Brady.
Oh gosh,
that's Drew Bledsoe. So
That's
I said, did they send me a Drew Bledsoe card from somebody's collection by mistake? I was like, did I send that thinking that it was a Brady? But it's a passing the torch card, so it's Bledsoe / Brady.
Oh, they needed to turn that around.
Yeah, but this is the back of the card, so I can't blame them. And it's numbered to 500, so that's actually probably a pretty valuable card. Gold laser, So those, and then an XR numbered card there. So that was all my 9.5s. I'm sorry if this bores you, but I'm proud of this.
It's great for people that are listening. Keep going.
Yeah, the listeners are like this stuff. Like that card, this card is not valuable. I got a 10. It's just so cool looking with all the colors. More die cuts and more numbered stuff.
And for you guys who are tuning in for the very first time, Josh has a Brady problem, and we just all deal with it, and we just let him run with it. So keep going.
This is one of the Panini cards you get out of the Panini packs, and it's got kind of a little holographic design to it. I got a 10 on it. And then my two favorite cards right here, Select. This is 2017. Select is such one of my favorites, but the base silver there, and then the blue die cut there. Both got 10s. Can you believe that? Like, I wasn't expecting that. And then the last couple, an old Crusade.
Oh, I love Crusade.
But this is cool. The Disco Prism Silver Brady 2017, and then another numbered Brady. So when we get to card from the vault, believe it or not, I picked up 2 more Bradys this weekend at the shop, and those are going to be along with a card from Jacob. So if Jacob is still watching, we're going to brag on that card you sold me.
There you go. Let me just catch up on the comments. Jacob says he's been saying to CSG for $13.
CSG. Yep, we got to talk CSG.
20-day turnaround. That's smoking fast and really cheap. And I was telling you during pregame, they've got the best slabs on the market, hands down.
Do you still have your CSG sitting next to you there?
I do. I'm
going to show you this. This is a Brady CSG. So I bought this one at the National. That's got the older label. Mm-hmm. So if you notice, wrong side. So it's lime green. It kind of clashes with some of the cards. I bought it this way. Michael's not kidding when he says their cases are gorgeous. They are so clear.
And here's one with the Kobe. And I'm tending to I'm going to crack this open because they are so strict on their grading that and I've seen enough on YouTube and seen them get cracked, and those 9.5s turn out to be 10s, usually PSA 10s.
And that Kobe you held up was the new label. So I was showing my label. Green. My green is the old label. His is the new label. So it looks
and we were kicking around. Kicking around some stats in the pregame. You were saying, well, isn't SGC? I saw all kinds of SGC at the National. It was the one that I saw the most of. Well, don't sleep on CSG. This is this is what happened in July. It's crazy. PSA, they graded 1 million cards in July.
That's just insane.
That's nuts. But check it out. CSG graded 153.
100,000 more than SGC.
Right. And they were down 13% from June. SGC is down 46%.
That's just strange to me. I was telling Michael before we went live that I saw so much SGC at the National. I was like, they've got to be number 2 by now, right? All the vintage that I saw and the numbers don't lie. I mean, I don't think SGC is going anywhere.
No.
But CSG, look out.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Catching up on some of these. Yes, SGC does have a gold label. I've never gotten one. I've never even seen one live, but they do hand those out. So they have they sort of took that they borrowed that from from Beckett. Someone's
label.
asking where that 101 auto Brady is at. Alejandro, I agree, Alejandro. SGC 10s are great to have. They are strict over there at SGC. CSG, because of the new slabs. Yes, the new label for CSG is awesome, and they're great for slabbing your PC. And then
George, that's interesting.
Yep, lots of CSG and Hickory, more than SG. It's gonna be, look, right now it's a race for second. Clearly, PSA on the secondary market is in charge. And I was just telling Josh before we started, him and I don't have enough history in the hobby to know, to have any perspective of when Beckett was number 1. But at some point, Beckett was clearly the number 1 grader. You're going to see all these cards from golden and BGS slabs. So Beckett at some point, and who knows when this will change. But PSA certainly has the foothold, but don't sleep on CSG. All right, we got to get to card from the vault. Let's do it. And thanks for everybody chiming in and participating and throwing in some questions and letting us know their thoughts on grading. It seems like we talk about grading almost every episode, and it's because it's such a big part of the hobby. So thanks for those comments and questions. Let's get to card from the vault. Josh, you are up.
Am I going first? All right. Yeah. So I said I was going to show two more Bradys that I picked up on Saturday. I want to show you those. And then Jacob's in the chat. I did some business with him this Saturday, and I bought this card from him. He hasn't let me pay him yet, but Jacob, I am paying you for this card. So if you follow this podcast, you've probably heard in the past that I'm a WWE fan, and Shawn Michaels is my all-time favorite wrestler. I've got Shawn's autograph already on a card, and Luger is probably number 2 for me. So this is Lex Luger. It came out of one of the boxes at the shop.
That's
this
awesome.
is when he was the All-American, not the Narcissist. But this is a tie-dye. If you also know me, you know I'm a sucker for tie-dye. So Lex Luger, tie-dye.
Sweet card.
Which is numbered to 25. Jacob, thank you for the gift, but I will be paying you for this one way or the other. And it's going to stay with my Shawn Michaels autograph on display. And then customer brought these in the Saturday. I wasn't aware. So this isn't anything crazy, but it's a great addition to the PC. This is a 2019 Donner's Optic Hollow PSA 10. So, I mean, that belongs in a Brady PC, right? Nothing crazy about it, but it's a great card. So, and then I said, yeah, this other one you got, I'll take this too. This Phoenix, it's a PSA 10. But then he pointed out it's a white shimmer. And if you see, white shimmers come out of those white shimmer packs, which you get through Panini and through the reward points. So I don't own any white shimmer Brady. And to get a PSA 10, I had to pay handsomely for this one. But it'll go on the PC. thank you to the customer that brought those in and sold them to me. But those are my cards from the vault this week.
So I've got a couple. One is for all my soccer folks out there. Everybody knows the downtown, right? Just a beautiful parallel. Well, in 2018, Prism came out, and it wasn't downtown because they're worldwide. They're called, here, let me switch this up. They're called national landmarks.
Oh, very downtown-y.
Yes. Yep. I think this was the predecessor to the downtown. This is Robert Lewandowski. He plays for the Polish national team, so he'll be playing in the World Cup. He just got transferred over to Barcelona, which is a huge club in Spain. So he's somebody that I am collecting in route to the World Cup. And then in honor of preseason football and being in Charlotte, I grabbed one of these off of eBay. This is a gold vinyl.
Ooh.
Matt Corral. He's the rookie quarterback for the Panthers. So this is 1 out of 10 gold vinyl. This will
out of
be
which product does that come out of?
This is out of the gold packs at the National.
Wow.
So this is actually going to be his first card in a Panthers uniform, because right now, anytime you see him in a product right now, he's still in his Ole Miss uniform. Yep. So this is going to be a trade night, guys. So,
ooh. Come get it.
Boom, boom.
Do I get to plug my custom creation here before we? Is this a good spot where I can plug it?
This is your podcast, dude. Go ahead.
So I'm going to have these, hopefully, knock on wood, ready by trade night. These are going to be the first run of Grand Slam. What do you call them? Hit boxes or something. So they're going to be in these red magnetic boxes. Don't judge it by this label. The actual finished product is going to have a really large Grand Slam logo. And the first iteration is going to be kaboom boxes, meaning every box has one card and it is a guaranteed kaboom. More details to come. I'll have those for sale starting trade night, the 27th, down at the shop. They're going to be fun. They're going to be well made, well done, and there's some bangers in there. So I'm investing a good little bit of money in this product. The presentation is going to be nice. And if it does well, Series 2 will probably be downtowns, and then we'll just build off of that. So
looking forward to that.
Yep.
I think I might have to commandeer a couple of those boxes before trade night starts.
6 p.m., Mike.
There you go. Oh, dadgummit. All right, let's get going. Let's wrap things up. We've kept everybody this long. And if you've stuck around this long, please, if you haven't already, like, subscribe, leave a review. Let us know how we're doing. Let us know what you want to hear more of, less of, and just let us know what we could do better. Josh, what is coming to the shop next week? There's a juicy football product coming next week.
There is. So it's been pushed and pushed and pushed. It's supposed to be out long ago, but Select Football 2021 is slated for the 24th next week. So there will be retail of that. We know we always complain about how they watered Select down, but Select Hobby is still really good because that's where you're going to get your numbered stuff and your big autos and stuff. So Select is on the 24th. I think Clearly Authentic Baseball is that same day. Those are the two. And if you're a Pokemon fan, the next set, we always do a couple pre-release weekends, and then we get to sell the product a week before you'll find it anywhere else because we are a sanctioned store. So the newest Pokemon set, and I can't even remember the name of it. I should know that off the Lost Origins. Sorry, Lost Origins Pokemon is on the horizon for a couple weeks. So
excellent. Upcoming event, obviously trade night. If you guys are local, even if you guys aren't local, we would love to see you. It is so cool to it's cool to chat with you guys during the podcast, but it's really neat running into you guys in person, getting to see your collections, getting to see the cards that you guys are into. So make it out to trade night. beat up on the kids that are doing the trade up challenge, and looking forward to seeing that. All right, let's get things wrapped up with stat of the week. I'm going to steal yours since I didn't have one.
And this was in response because I poo-pooed Juan Soto last week, and so here and you were gung ho Juan Soto, so I thought this was fitting.
This is hilarious.
When Juan Soto wished the other pitchers in the league good luck when they have to deal with the Padres lineup. Since saying that, now this is a little old now. This is a few days old at least, but it hasn't gotten much better since this stat. But Michael,
it was like 20 straight innings they didn't score a run, and so they've been awful. And then they lost Tatis. So not a good month, not a good August for the Padres. So hopefully they bounce back. All right, here's your stat of the week. Go ahead.
My stat was, we talked about this in the shop a little bit today, and I saw this. I think that the stat was under the fact that Kirk Cousins has to be the best quarterback to, like, I think it was never win MVP, or it was never even end like in the top 5 in MVP voting ever. But look at this. For the last 10 years, look at those stats. I'm just going to go down in order from 2021 backwards, but 4,200 yards, 4,200 yards, 3,600 yards, 4,300 yards, 4,000 yards, 5,000 yards, 4,000 yards. It's always 33 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, 35 touchdowns, 26 touchdowns, 30. And the QBR was what's jumped out to me. Yeah. Over 100, 103, 106, 107.
He's averaged over 100. Yep.
He's averaging over 100 in the last 10 years for quarterback rating. My point is, Kirk Cousins is a much better quarterback than people are giving him credit for. A little tip, maybe a late fantasy football starting quarterback pickup, because you can probably get him pretty late in the draft. Yep. I just thought that was crazy.
That is crazy.
Not ever even being close to winning an MVP, but puts up numbers like that every year. That was a crazy stat of the week.
All right. Guys, thanks for hanging in there. Thanks for being with us. Josh, you have anything to close things out? Any parting shot?
Couple little reminders. Trade night, August 27th. We're going to give away some cool stuff. Stay tuned. You'll see some advertising for that coming up, but we are going to do some cool giveaways and the trade up challenge for the kids. And if you want to break optic football for cheap retail, like I said, you should see the first break of a couple of those post tomorrow. So jump in there. Our goal is to keep it under $29 and open some optic football.
All right. Thanks, guys. Josh, I appreciate you. We'll see ya.
See ya, y'all. Bye.